Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. Hi, Jenny.
Good morning. Happy Monday, everyone.
I hope everybody had a great weekend, and I'm going to be a total nerd,
Oh, okay.
like always.
I was going to say, what's new, pussycat?
And I think those guys are rubbing off on me. No, I am so excited about today.
Okay.
Because I really feel that like this is the stuff, in my opinion, this is the stuff that can really make massive differences in people's life. And I'm not just saying that. Like, I mean, you hear me say that on everything. Oh my God, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
This one actually is.
Okay.
It's a big one.
Okay.
It's a big one. So, and then Michael says that we got to be out of here a tad bit early today. So I guess no time for pleasantries.
Let's go.
No time for pleasantries.
Michael actually runs the show here.
I noticed that. I'm like, what's happening here? What do you mean? Okay. Anyways, so if you remember, we were going over Success is Easy.
Yes.
I'm still not even halfway through this book, and we've got 4 different money motivations
I
on
love it.
So I wanted to kind of pick right up where we dropped off.
And which was where?
Which was talking about how to really look at best case and worst case scenarios in your life.
Okay.
So like when you're making decisions, and we're going to get to the branding, to the shameless self-promotion, which is mind-blowing, but I promised I would finish this piece before we get there. So everybody out there, hang on, hang loose. It's going to be worth it. So basically, when you, and have you ever done it? Have you ever had like an issue going on in your life and you actually put a line down the column and put like the positives and the negatives?
Totally, all the
best
time.
Case, worst case. So have I, and I've done it. I mean, I still have a bunch in my phone from decisions I've made. But so what I wanted to do though is I wanted to tell you her perspective on it.
Okay.
And overcoming, the worst case scenario is a little different than I thought. So common people get caught up in the worst case scenario mindset for too long. Would you agree? So if you're looking at some big thing you want to do with your career, some big change in your life, buying a house, buying a really nice car, making this jump from, in your business to get to coaching or whatever, you get scared and you buy into that worst case scenario instead of looking at the best case.
Yes.
So most of us view worst case obstacles from a victim mindset.
Yes.
And it's a solution-oriented, instead of a solution-oriented mindset. So I thought this was cool. When you write down all the best case stuff and when you write down all the worst case stuff or, worst case scenarios, I always thought worst case is like, oh my God, this could happen, that could happen. But it's not about that as much as it is changing your mindset to say worst case scenario stuff is just to prepare you, is to teach you to be prepared for if that happens.
Okay.
So instead of just saying, this is going to happen in my life, I'm going to go broke, I'm going to lose this, I'm going to lose that, it's more along the lines of, okay, if this doesn't happen, I can have this reaction.
Okay.
If this doesn't happen, I can have this reaction. So it's really being prepared to deal with the challenges of the worst case more than just looking at the negative, oh my God, I'm going to go broke, I'm going to lose everything, my husband's going to leave me, my wife's going to leave me, like blah, 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 blah. So that's
okay, I dig it.
That's it, and basically, it just also it kind of teaches you to be realistic in all of your thinking. And it kind of minimizes the difference between the two, the best case and the worst case. So it's just viewing from a standpoint, and in the best case scenario, you're looking at it from a standpoint that the outcome is going to be successful inevitably. It's going to work out great.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna jump ahead right now. I'm gonna skip all the rest of the stuff. I'm gonna get to the stuff that I'm here for, which is marketing and selfless brand promotion.
All right, because this does pertain to everyone on here, no matter what you do.
For sure. So, masterful self-promoters. It starts out by talking about Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
And how Muhammad Ali started saying that he was the greatest fighter of all time and the best of all time. And he will tell you, or back in his interviews, before he even knew it.
Right.
He just basically he became the ultimate showman out front. Right? And
before it was a thing, right?
Right, before it was a thing.
Yeah.
He really was one of the real first self-promoters. And did you think of him as cocky or arrogant? I think some of the other fighters did, and they used to say stuff about him. But the way he handled it was great. It was fun. And he basically, when you think of the greatest of all time, do you think of him?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's basically not bragging if you can back it up. So the self-promotion that you guys need to be doing in your life for your business, and I believe that we're all in the sales business, whether you're an engineer, whether you are, admin, whether you are a car salesman, whether you sell warehouse boxes, whether you're a real estate agent. We are all in the business of putting ourselves out front and getting people to notice us for what we offer. And it's not bragging if you can back it up. It is not bragging if you can back it up.
Okay.
And Muhammad Ali said later, the reason I said that I was the greatest of all time and the best of all time is so that he would be remembered. He was branding himself. And not only branding himself to the world and getting attention on himself, but also he was affirming in his own mind that he is the best, that he is the greatest.
Yeah.
And when you're out there saying things like, I am the greatest real estate agent of all time,
Yeah.
anybody that works with me, and I believe this, anybody that works with me is lucky to be working
Right.
with me.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys all believe that too, because it also pushes you to not disappoint.
Yeah.
If I'm out there saying, hey, Chuck and Jenny's Monday Motivation is one of the best shows ever, that's a lot of pressure on us.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Oh, Lordy.
And people saying, Jenny, I love you. You're so funny when you do this, you do that. You're like, I got this pressure not to disappoint. So by saying it, we're kind of doing the same thing. So, and he was so, such a self-promoter that he would say, I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, right? So, and he would say, I'm not only going to knock him out, I'm going to pick the round. So he was just, and he really believed that in his heart of hearts and his soul of souls. So you out there, we have to promote ourselves by recognizing that we have greatness within ourselves. And I'm going to ask you guys on the call right now, do you have greatness within you? Do you have something that makes you special? What is it about you that makes you stand out? And every person on this call, Jenny, you, Michael, Adam, all of us, we all have something that makes us stand out. And so he stood up and he spoke his mind, and he was never shy, and he never gave up. And that's kind of where it starts, with being willing to self-promote yourself and to brand yourself and to market yourself. Is we have to find that self-confidence, because that's the key component to a successful self-promoter. You have to find that by finding what you're good at. And then that creates the momentum, that gets you noticed. And what's the point of being the best realtor on the planet if nobody knows it?
That's so true.
What's the point of being, Coldwell Banker Associated Brokers, which I believe is the best real estate company in this whole region by far, if nobody knows it?
That's true.
If Adam is a great promoter of, he loves to make people laugh, he loves to do video, but maybe you need to promote yourself a little bit more on available tools for side projects. You know what I mean? Because Adam's phenomenal, and he knows he's good, but maybe he's just not doing a good job of self-promoting himself.
Right.
So those are just a few of the things that I'm throwing out there. And I just want to encourage everybody, don't feel like you're bragging. Don't feel like you're being boastful. If you're out there doing a video, and there are some people that I watch that get up and they talk and talk and talk and talk, about different things that are going on, about the economy, about loans, about this, about that. And you know what? They haven't given up to the point where now you go on there and you see thousands of followers.
Yeah.
Because they believe in what they're saying.
That's true. And I know it's hard. We all have to change our mindset on this, because we were raised, especially from our time period, don't be bragful, don't be boastful, be humble, be all of these things. And so we have to really flip that switch, because we're not being braggy. We're just telling it like it is, I guess.
That is funny. But I think there is a difference, like you said, because it is a scary thing. I mean, even like, think about this. I have a show that's called The Chuck Whitehead Show.
Yeah.
I look like a narcissist, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you feel like you could look that way, but I really feel that this stuff brings value.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're serving and we're doing what we need to do. And so.
Well, Oprah had her own show before she was Oprah. I'm gonna age myself. Phil Donahue before he, Geraldo,
Ellen.
Ellen. I was gonna say Ellen. She's really, but yeah.
All of them, and it's about that self-promotion. I mean, do you think Trump became president by not self-promoting?
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
all of them.
So that's one of the biggest keys, and I think a lot of people are missing it because we're shy, because we don't have the confidence, because we don't want to come across as cocky. And I love what you said, because people do say you're going to come across as cocky, you're going to come across as this. So if I thought, I don't want to do any more events because if I'm up there standing and running a panel or doing whatever because I think I'm being cocky, it would never get done. And you guys as agents, if you're blasting your face constantly out on social media with a quote next to it about real estate, or if you're doing a monologue about something that happened with buyers that day or sellers that day, that's what you got to do. You have to promote yourself, because it's not bragging. What you're doing is you're sharing the impact of your work with others.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with getting excited about what we do. And people will gravitate to you if you promote your business with passion and enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Because you really feel it. And you said it yourself, whether it's the parents or don't allow the voices and opinions of other people to drown out the inner voice that you have.
Yeah.
That's really what I want to say. Speak up.
Yeah.
Don't allow the voices and opinions. So, are there people out there right now that and I think most of the people out there are concerned about getting on because they're afraid of being judged.
Yeah.
And they're afraid that they're going to look this or look that, and to just go for it is the key.
Yeah.
Just market your ass off, put yourself out front, talk on camera, say what you're thinking, say what you believe, talk about your real estate experiences, market yourself to death, and do it in a way that you're really coming from a place of passion. On my story this morning, I really meant what I said. When I said that I think this content about self-promotion and this feeling of being boastful versus not doing it is important, and I talked for a minute, whatever.
Whatever. What's new? Whatever.
Yeah,
I think that's super good, and we're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and I think that's also something we have to realize. And it's okay.
I agree. But we have an obligation to promote our gifts and opinions. Because
Hey, Chuck.
Yes, please.
Don't forget to change it up if you need to. One of the things my parents never did that I'm going to start doing more, and Christine's going to start doing more, is community activities. Get involved and get your face out there that way too. So I know Canyon Lake has a lot of activities, but I'm sure the other communities do too. And just make sure to change it up if you need to.
Well, and I love that, Brenda, because not only get involved and kind of be there, but be out front. Mm-hmm. Put yourself in a role. And that's why I was saying promote your gifts and opinions and passions, because if you're really into your son's baseball team, get out there. Be out front. Be an assistant coach. Be the team mom. Be the team dad. Do whatever you got to do to be out front and be a leader in what you're doing. Because if you are true to yourself in your self-promotion, you're going to work with people that like working with you. And I always say that with authenticity. Hey, if I get out there and I say something, I lose somebody that didn't want to work with me, you probably didn't want to work with that person anyway.
Right.
Because if they don't relate to Jenny's personality.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah. So promote your knowledge, your skills and ideas, and give other people something to cheer for, because they know what you're all about. So, and I do love that, Brenda, that you're gonna be out front. What are you guys, if you don't mind me asking, you don't have to get specific, but what are you guys planning on doing? So, is it charities? Is it clubs? Is it groups? How are you gonna start that little self-promotion piece?
A lot of clubs. We starting this week with Trunk or Treat with Family Matters, and just making sure we're getting promoted that way. Like I said, Canyon Lake has a lot of clubs, so
I love that.
Take advantage of that.
I love that. And yes,
I agree with Brenda. And I'm going to the accessory dwelling unit workshop tonight at Riverside at the City Hall. They're doing an ADU workshop to talk about, the rules and stuff going forward with ADUs in Riverside County. So it's a 5:30 to 7 o'clock meeting. But just like Brenda, I'm going to start getting out there, getting involved, just doing more things. And I think it matters.
I love that. I love that. What other things are people on the call doing to put themselves out front? That's what I want to know. And chime in. I want to know what you're doing to brand yourself. And I want to know what you're doing to put yourself out there and for self-promotion. Because if you can't think of anything right now, you're effing up. Would you agree?
Yes.
You got to be out there. What's that? Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Oh, I'm running for the board here in my association.
Give me a hug.
It's just starting. Just starting, so.
Elizabeth, so check this out. When I ran for Canyon Lake, when I joined the board, I came in like a bat out of hell into the board. All 4 of the other members disliked me.
Of course.
Because I was 24 years old. By the next year, I was president of Canyon Lake because they all hated each other more than they hated me. And I ended up selling all 4 of those board members a house, their house, and their kids' and families' houses.
Nice.
So what you're doing, Elizabeth, I love it because, and not only, so you're going to serve on that committee, but you're also going in there with a little bit of intent. to promote myself. And as the more sane you sound at your meetings when there's people in the audience, the more they're going to go, I want to work with Elizabeth Maytov.
Yeah.
You know, so what else? What other things are you doing for self-promotion, guys? And running for the board or the HOA or something like that, that is a great idea. Good job, Elizabeth.
Brad Morton wants to.
What you got,
Morton's
Morton?
raising his hand.
Morton's the king of self-promotion, by the way.
It's funny. It's all because of Chuck.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, no, it's funny, the internal battle that goes on, because, you know, I just started this Canyon Lake home values and sales comp Facebook group.
I saw that.
And I've been procrastinating it for a while. And, you know, you just want to provide value. You really want it to be good material. And you're afraid that if you put yourself out there like that, you're going to look like, you know, the know-it-all who thinks he understands Canyon Lake. And that's not the point. What I've found is, in doing my research for the various posts, you actually force yourself, because you don't want to make an idiot of yourself. You force yourself to really know the information, and it's helped me tremendously to know the market.
That's good.
I love it.
That's good.
I love it. And Brad, you are phenomenal at the Facebook groups, and the momentum that he's created and the number of people that start following it, and the subtle way that you can self-promote through those types of
Yeah,
organizations.
him and his wife are doing a great job, and I really think we could learn a lot from that.
Oh, for sure.
They're doing a great job.
For sure, for sure. And what else, guys? I want you to keep going. Norma, Catherine, yes.
Melissa Flanders.
Melissa.
Hi. So
Hi.
one thing that I want to state in this, it's amazing to see agents promote themselves. I just want to put out there, be authentic. Be your authentic self if you're going to be promoting yourself. And the reason being is, a lot of times, you know, we get business because people trust us. So what you want to do is make sure that you're in line with your personal branding as a person. So just keep that in mind when you're out there promoting yourself.
That's true.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to add to that, Melissa. And by the way, I love your daughter's posts. They're hilarious.
Oh, my gosh.
They're fantastic.
She's
When all
hysterical.
else fails, hire your children to do it for you if you don't like being on camera.
Well, I mean, I got to tell you, your social media is good. I mean, just
so
because of that.
good.
I mean, I remember that.
Yeah.
You know?
She's
But
a
I
hoot.
like what you just said, because we have to remain true to ourselves at all times when it comes to our promotion, and promote our knowledge, our skills, and our ideas and all that. But you have to, and there's a difference. You have to promote the service you give to others, not yourself.
Yes.
That
yes.
is really important to remember. So sitting around and promoting, you know, I'm number one and I'm this and I'm that. I mean, that's cool, because that is important to know that you're good. But just remember that what you offer to others is the real value in your promotion, because it's not about you. It's about what you can do for them. And by knowing that what I do for them, you know, or what I do for my clients or my buyers or my sellers, I mean, and I'm getting way ahead of myself, Jenny, and it's going to I'm getting way ahead, but do you feel that clients are lucky to work with you? That's the question that I have. And I mean that.
Yeah,
And some of you
totally.
guys may say no, you know, or nah, maybe not yet or whatever, but it's important that you know that they are lucky to work with you, and that is your true value proposition, because you have to believe it and they have to believe it. And I'm going to get a little bit ahead, but you know, yes, there's going to be some people when you do this that are going to label you overconfident and boastful. People are going to decide if they like you or not based on what you say. And here's the surprise, guys. Not everyone's going to like you.
Which is shocking.
Not
and
everybody
hurtful.
likes me. Shit, half the people on this call probably don't. But that's okay, because you're getting a little good info, so you just take what you can get, and gotta
Yeah.
So, you know, but they're not going to like you, but they are deciding that. And that's what I think Melissa was saying, and what I'm saying is, by being authentic, you're going to work with people that you're going to have an enjoyable and experience that like you.
Right.
You know, and don't let the fear of being disliked, though, stand in the way of getting the word out.
Yeah, that's true. And then you mentioned something a couple minutes ago about, you know, you and Brad mentioned, you know, you may not know everything just yet, but they may not hire you because you know everything just yet. They may hire you because your passion, or you exude so much joy about whatever industry you're in.
Energy and enthusiasm.
Yeah, and it'll all come, and you have the knowledge to go to someone else to ask questions.
Right.
So don't be scared.
For sure, and it takes a while to build it. I mean, you know, when some of the agents that are on here, because there's a couple of rookies of the year, they started out with no confidence at all. 3 years later, they're looking for the challenge.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to a contractor who was doing some work on my neighbor's house, and he's so excited because this is something he's never done before. Is he nervous? Yes, but
Yeah.
he knows by the time I'm done with this, the truck, I'm gonna be able to do this and that.
Yeah.
You know, so the big kicker with that is successful people are willing to promote themselves and their value. So promoting your value and what you offer and your service to others is huge. Unsuccessful people think negatively about it. And this kind of goes to another thing too, like ask for business. And the reason that it's okay to ask for business is because you know they're going to be in good hands when they work with you.
This is good stuff. You're right.
And I think,
I know
Jenny,
we've heard it before.
Jenny,
this is
you've
good.
brought in 75 agents here to date. And I believe that you believe that our sales masteries, our mentors, our managers, our broker, the training, that you truly believe that this is the place to be and that people are going to grow and become great agents here. If you didn't believe that, they wouldn't come.
It's so true. I fully 100% believe that.
So
that's why it's so easy.
So you guys have to do the same thing with your business, that working with me on the properties I'm going to find you, making sure that you're serviced on the seller's end, making sure that you communicate, making sure all those sorts of things, like you believe that people are lucky to work with you. So if you're not comfortable with self-promotion, I want you to ask why. And here's some questions. Maybe the reason that you don't like self-promotion or you don't like asking your family for business or your friends for business is because you saw someone else's shameful promotion. You saw somebody else out there that you're like, that just makes me sick and nauseous. Or you remember someone else's hard sell. Because there's so many people that don't like to ask their brothers, their sisters, their parents for business or their best friends because they don't want to come across as that hard sell.
Yeah.
That pushy person, that rude person, that intrusive person. But remember, you are offering them something where they're lucky to work with you because of your knowledge and experience and commitment to what they're doing. And maybe you don't like self-promotion because you remember somebody that wouldn't take no for an answer. You're like, dude, or look, lady, quit calling me. So you have to overcome those things. And here's the scary one of maybe why you are not self-promoting or accomplishing the goals that you want in your life is because, and I am guilty of this, maybe you have been rejected at some point. And I remember 10 years ago, Coldwell Banker was looking for a spokesman and they asked everybody to send in a video. And I sent in a video that I thought was phenomenal. And I got rejected.
Ooh.
And it stopped me from doing it again. So I'm just as guilty.
But now you have a Chuck Whitehead show.
Yeah,
Now
you're going to do things
now
on
you're
your
fired
own.
at Friday.
But
It pushed you.
Hey, Chuck, real quick on the family and friends thing.
Please do, Brenda.
You just remember that they're going to freak out like any other buyer or seller that you have. So, and with it being family and friends, you've got to kind of take that extra step to make them feel better about it. Otherwise, relationships can be ruined because of it if it's not handled correctly.
Totally.
Yeah, and I think, and I agree with you, Brendan, I think that's because we take those people for granted. You take your brother, your best friend, your sister for granted. We're not giving them the same level of service because we feel like, oh, they know I'm doing my job. But I think, as long as we do our job and give them extra special service, it's like we have somebody in this company that works with one of our affiliates, and we had to have a talk with her one time, and she's, this was with an old owner, and she basically was kind of slacking off. And we felt it was because she was related to somebody in the company. And so I went down and I sat with her, and I basically said, don't think that your life is going to be easy because of who your mother, aunt, I want to say who it is. People are judging you for that because of who you are. You have to work twice as hard to show them that you're not here for any other reason other than you're a badass.
Yes.
And so for your family members, you should be working twice as hard for them too. Giving them the full listing presentation. Giving them everything that you would give a client that you're trying to land. Because it'll come back around. But back to what we were saying about self-promotion. Like I said, maybe you've been rejected. But the good thing is continual rejection is unlikely. Continual rejection is unlikely. I think they said that, we went over some of this stuff. What was it, like 1,000 people we talked about last week didn't give Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Sanders a chance. We had, 30 different people didn't buy into Star Wars, but you keep going and you keep being resilient and you keep putting yourself out there and you keep promoting yourself and you're going to get the results.
Yeah.
And the last thing, of course, is past programming and beliefs. we got to get rid of that fear. You got to get rid of those things that are holding you back. I don't look good. I'm not in shape. I don't like what I'm wearing. I don't like how my hair looks. I don't like this. I don't like that. So what? My promotion that's half-assed is going to be better than your absent promotion every time, right?
And you also always say, we all know what you look like.
I like this. Dylan Hafner said, you want your family bragging about your amazing listing presentations to their friends.
Yeah, there you go.
Can you imagine, your sister going, I tell you what, I didn't know Jenny was such a badass agent, but Jenny is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You should have seen the stuff that she has.
Yeah.
Like, she's a lot better than I ever thought she was.
Yeah.
That's good, Dylan.
That's good, Dylan.
That.
Awesome.
I like that. So anybody else have any other ways that they're doing self-promotion, or maybe thinking on this call right now that they're going to commit to joining some groups like Brenda said, or Facebook groups like Brad said? Like, is there anything that you guys know you should be joining for self-promotion, but you haven't been because you're a pansy?
Or even post. Are you going to start posting more?
Anybody? Sonia, anything you want to throw in on this?
Oh, I love it, Chuck, because you're right on with this. I just find that there's a fine line between bragging and self-promoting. And that fine line is really the confidence you have in yourself in being able to actually do what you're saying you're going to do. It's all about others, how you can help them. When you start helping others, your confidence begins to rise, and then it's easy to self-promote. It's not, we all know the people who just always are saying, I do this, I did that, I can't hardly wait to do this, I got this award, and pretty soon you just say enough's enough and you stay away from them. Brad call, we had a call with Brad the other day, and he's really doing awesome in his social media, as everybody knows. And we had that discussion of where is that fine line between bragging and actually letting the world know what I have done, what I am capable of doing, and how I can make a difference in your life with your purchase.
Right.
And there is that fine line, but it's so good to see when it's done properly. And we have some agents who really know how to do that.
And I want to add on to that, Sonia, because not only, you got to find that confidence in yourself to get that out there. And we talk about this all the time, Jenny, but I really want to make sure that we are all vehicles to do that to the people around us.
Yeah.
And my best buddy, one of them that he lives up in Sacramento, he's huge in the franchise tax board. He's number 2. He's an amazing poet. And he's an amazing writer. I just wrote a poem, I had him go through it, and he changed it and made it great. And he's just written some fabulous material. And he's now a lawyer and all that stuff. And I said, Peter, Chris, I said, how did you become such a great writer? And he said, when I was in 3rd grade, my mom and dad read a piece that I did and said, you know what, Chris, you are an amazing writer. You have a gift. And by those parents, he goes, and it started there. He goes, when my parents told me what a good writer I was, I knew what I was going to do with my life. And now he writes law and he does all this different stuff, but that goes all the way back. So don't forget, obviously you got to give yourself that self-confidence and, tap into what your parents did and all that stuff, but remember to pay that forward.
Yes.
Any compliments you give to Jenny, your hair looks great, this, that, whatever, it's building that self-confidence in that person too. And by doing that, it builds your confidence.
Right.
So wait a minute. Let's back up for a second. You wrote a poem?
I did write a poem.
That's all I kept thinking about too.
Was
That's
it very good?
Was it about real estate?
Yeah.
I have written one
My
about
house.
real
Roses are
My
red,
house.
violets are blue, the market's hot. So are you.
Wonk, wonk.
I don't know.
I like it. I like it. Even Michael's laughing.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
My mother told me I was an excellent writer.
Whatever.
But you know what? It's one of those things when you're around your grandkids, your nieces, nephews, whoever, or even that little kid you see at McDonald's or whatever, and you see them trying to do something, encourage them.
Yes.
Even if, they may not be great at it, you saying that they have a gift or they are great in it, it changes that whole
You really are funny.
thing.
That's all you got to say.
That's so true.
You really are. You're funny.
You're funny.
Or you know
Yeah,
what? You're
it's so
you're
true.
really good at games, or you're really So,
Totally.
So the bottom line in all this, though, and this goes back to yourself and making money. Okay, and remember, I mean, this is obviously a business call,
Yeah.
but if you don't
like
toot
that.
your own horn, you can't enjoy the music.
Oh.
All right, so you have to add yourself into the music of life. You got to toot your horn, and another one of our little problems is, did your parents believe in self-promotion? So if you look at, did your mom or dad just get up and go to work and do this and do that? Or did they really blow themselves up and grow in their organizations and become amazing because they put themselves out front and they promoted themselves.
I love it.
Because, no, you're to be seen, not heard. That's what somebody just said about, who was that? About parenting and all that stuff, which for sure, I
Lynn.
mean, that is, Lynn said that. That is brutal. But a lot of you guys, if you're not self-promoting, you think that people are just going to find you and want to come buy a house from you or list a house with you.
Yeah.
They're not going to, because you have to put the hooks out there.
Oh, wow. That's
Right.
good stuff.
Chuck,
Yes.
Chuck, a lot of the agents are secret agents.
That's for sure.
Yep.
And the problem, Sonia, is it's just cost them endless opportunities.
Yeah.
It sabotages their success, and it drives their businesses into the ground.
Yeah.
And it could be because they're not confident about the knowledge. And for those newer agents in our career that we can think back, we've seen people come in year one and just boom it out with $100,000. I've seen somebody come in and do $150,000. I saw one lady who joined us out of the Marietta office who now lives in Texas. Her first year, she did $400,000. She did not know what she was doing.
Right.
Tom was constantly digging her out of contract problems and all this different stuff.
That's okay.
But she had the confidence
Yeah.
and the self-promotion.
That's awesome.
And, businesses don't work if you think people are going to find you.
Yeah.
You have to be out there. And hoping that people are going to discover you by chance in an overcrowded marketplace like this is a fantasy. I mean, it's an absolute fantasy. So I have some questions.
Okay.
Number one, do you like to promote yourself?
Are you asking me? No.
Yeah. Do you like to
very
promote
hard.
yourself? No?
No, Adam has to pressure me, and it's a constant battle.
Yeah, but she's such a trooper.
She is. And that's my
The
question for you
stuff
guys
we
out
put
there.
her in, oh.
Do you like to promote yourself? Here's the next
Okay.
one. Oh, Mistress of the Blue. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
All right,
exactly.
so do you like to promote yourself? I had to throw it out there. Do you believe in your product or service? Do you believe on the call right now, do you believe that people are lucky to work with you in real estate? Or do you think I'm not sure?
I hope you guys are writing down your answers. Write this stuff down and
So-
go back.
Do you like to promote yourself, and do you believe in your product or service? And here's the big one. Do you believe that what you are offering as a real estate service, or whether you sell boxes or an engineer or whatever it may be, do you believe that what you are offering will benefit the people that you are promoting it to? Because if you believe you are serving and bringing a huge benefit to anybody that gets to work with you, because I believe in my product and my service, and I like to promote myself, if you answered yes, you believe in your business and your value. And if you believe in your business and your value, you have to promote it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I dig it. Oh my God, this is good.
Does anybody have anything that they would like to throw
Come
in
on,
on this?
share with us, people.
I mean, throw something out. Brian, you have any thoughts on that? I mean, how did you feel about initial self-promotion versus self-promotion now? Brian Keene. What you got, buddy?
That was kind of a hard one for me because I a few months into it, I just didn't promote myself. I didn't want to, sound like a salesman, so to speak. So, but then when I got out of my shell, Sherry got me out of my shell. So I, to start promoting myself.
Right.
And then as the business started growing, then promoting that. You'll never see on my post where I ask for a sale or anything like that. It's always gratitude and congratulatory towards the clients.
That means service. He's showing his value. He's showing his service.
So
right?
find your way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, it's one thing that you taught me, Chuck. You would always say, look at your social media, look at all this, and ask yourself, would you use you? Well, I actually know an agent from whole other company. She's moving, and she didn't use herself to list her own house.
Did we get the listing? No. Well, okay. All right. So,
I have something.
yes.
Oh, Dana.
It's Dana.
Hi, Dana.
Yeah. So, hi. Okay. So, what I found really helpful in doing that is when I'm in a transaction, I let the clients know every time I'm doing something in a positive way. Like, I reached out to the listing agent. We're going to hear back from them. Or I sent a message. I'm going to let, they're going to send me a message back or whatever. And I think that my clients are so stoked that I'm being proactive and working on their behalf. They're just so grateful.
I like it. I like it. And so you're promoting yourself through your service.
Yeah.
Right. Inadvertently, like they just get this awesome feeling that I'm working really hard for them, which is true, I am. But that I don't have to tell them like, oh, I'm working so hard. Just by informing them and keeping them up to date, they believe I'm working hard for them.
I love that. I love that. Thank you, Dana. And I was just thinking about this. You could be the best real estate agent in Southwest Riverside County. You really could be. And there are people on this call that are fabulous.
Oh yeah, I would say almost all these people on this call could do it.
But if we think about it, we have no doubt that you're the best, but unfortunately, no one knows about you outside because they live in their own little worlds and you're not letting the world know, I am a fabulous real estate agent. So the fabulous real estate agent, the super zings, we're super agents, like what are you doing to promote yourself in a way that you can be the best, but it really doesn't matter if nobody knows. It just doesn't matter. This company is fabulous, but maybe we don't do an amazing job putting it out in the world about all the things that we offer and all the things that we do. And we're guilty of that all the time because we get caught in our own little worlds and then we stop promoting. And I don't want that to happen to you in your business. I want you guys to have a schedule to be out front and promoting. And that's kind of what this is all about. So I'm going to talk about ineffective self-promotion versus effective self-promotion. So we talked about it a little bit earlier, but ineffective self-promotion serves the person doing the promoting first.
Okay.
So me putting something out there, and I remember we had a rep that came in, and I'll never forget her. And that rep, every time, all she did was talked about how she was #1, talked about how the company that she worked for sent her to Hawaii, talked about how many orders she did, all that sort of stuff. And nobody cares about that. They care about what can you do for me. And I remember, and I know, I will never forget that lady and her self-promotion in terms of how great she is and how wonderful I am and me. It has to be you. So effective promotion serves others first. So one sabotages success and the other moves us towards success. And again, I keep thinking about CBABR, like in the Muhammad Ali thing. If we were out there just telling everybody, we're the best, we're the greatest, doing all those sorts of things, then, and we believe it, we're probably going to get results. And that goes for you in your business, I'm the best realtor. Just what taglines, what things that you can do, to put out there that just talk about you and how great you are in a sense that you're serving others at the same time.
Right.
So any feedback on that from anybody? Sonia, you got anything on that?
Well, I was just thinking it's also nice when you can get your clients to brag for you, or when you give such good service, get those reviews out there, because that in a way is somebody else bragging about you and builds your business.
For sure.
So I feel that's as important as anything.
And I want to add to that, Sonia, this Wednesday's Sales Mastery, we're actually going to be, and that's what you and I are going to talk about, Michael, we're actually going to have people asking for reviews and getting reviews right in this room and online at that time. People are going to walk away with reviews on their Facebook, hopefully with reviews on their Google. We're going to show you exactly what to do, and we're going to make you do it while you're on the call. Because I agree with you, Sonia. I agree with you. Yes.
Hey, Chuck, I just learned of a new one, and I didn't know about this one. It's called, I'd seen it a couple times, and I kind of ignored it. But I looked at it and I reached out to all my clients on it. It's called Rate Your Agent. And they actually, the more you get reviews, they give out at the end of the year, the top agent in Canyon Lake, the top agent in Riverside, the top agent. So they do it by city and it's pretty cool. So far I've been ticking it up and it's making me move up the chain.
Very cool.
Got it.
Now, because when you first told me this is what you were going to do for our sales mastery, prospecting sales mastery, I had that concern. Remember, well, we have so many new people and they haven't even got to do that yet. And you had a great answer. What was your answer?
Well, so people say, well, I haven't sold anything yet. I haven't listed anything yet. I haven't bought anything yet. I can't get reviews. I can't ask people for reviews. You can ask your friend who knows you. I have known Jenny for 20 years. And let me tell you this, if I was going to trust anyone with my sale, it's Jenny.
Yep.
That alone, it does not have to be someone that you bought or sold with,
Yeah, I want to buy a house from Jenny now.
Right?
I mean,
good review,
but
check.
You're with me. It's just important that when we hit this up, it's about people that know and trust you and your character and know that you come from a place of service.
Right.
So, and
good morning, Chuck. It's Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Hey.
How are you?
Doing fantastic. Now, Lori's kicking butt this year, so I can't wait to hear what she's got to say.
Always kicking butt.
Bring it.
Oh my gosh. So I just was exactly going to say what Sonia said. I just signed a listing last night that came from Google. It's my third one in the last couple of months. And so I totally believe in letting your clients do the boasting for you. You know, I think Chuck knows that my profile across the board online is pretty consistent.
Dialed in.
But every time I get a new review or a couple new reviews, or I tweak something in my bio across the board, my phone rings and I get a listing that is out somebody that I don't know. And that is just a huge compliment to me. But honestly, I've taken 3 listings in the last couple months that have come after I've had Google reviews posted.
Wow. I mean, and you guys have a chance to all do that together on Wednesday.
That's
So
super
thank
cool.
you. Thank you for sharing that, Lori. I mean, that's awesome. So
Chuck?
yes.
I was just going to add, in those 3 questions you asked, when you asked at first, is it easy for you to, what was the question?
Self-promote. Yeah.
Self-promote, yes. To me, that's hard. But the second one was easier, and the third one was even easier. So I was thinking, if you reverse those questions, do you believe in serving? Because I think every agent, when I ask them why they're here, they always say they want to give back, they want to help, they want to serve in real estate. So if you can look at the questions and believe in yourself in serving, it may come easier to be able to self-promote. I'll get it out sooner or later.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
No, that's totally right.
I agree. And
Yeah, you've taught me that.
And effective self-promotion is natural when it connects your head and your heart. So
Right.
like knowing that you're doing it with intent for business, but you know that serving others is what it's all about, and you promote it, you're going to gain followers. You're going to gain people that believe you. And having famous fans or having people that are promoting it for you inspires and motivates others to buy into your service and your success vision. Because, I mean, it's just the way it is. And we talk about reviews and, you know, whether you buy a toothbrush on Amazon or whatever. I don't know about you, I look at every review for everything. Everything, every trip, you know, I would look up Viator and what everybody had to say, and I read them. And, you know, people are doing that to you too, you know. But yeah, so when they look you up, you have to be able to find that self-promotion somewhere in a service manner.
Yeah.
And you said earlier, Jenny, confidence, positive attitude, and enthusiasm will never fail you. And I believe if you don't have the experience, you're going to be fine if you have enough confidence, positive attitude, and enthusiasm.
Totally.
I can't believe I forgot my keypad. What a dope. You know, like, I mean, but, you know, to sell is to serve.
Yes.
I mean, that's really what it
Yeah.
is. To sell is to serve. And we know the agents that have commission breath.
Yeah. Oh, everyone
We
does.
know the agents that are in this for the money, and they are destined to fail. You know, unless they go buy $50,000 in leads, you know, because, you know,
Right.
and try to convert them and do this and do that. I mean, there's a way to do it, but our company is based around building yourself a sphere of people that like you, that, like Melissa Flanders said, that authentically like you.
Yes. Yeah.
So you just got to grow it.
Which is why we should be careful with the word shameless. Like, don't show up to a funeral putting your business card in the casket. You know?
No. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Why not?
What's wrong with that?
There's a sale.
You're right. You're right. Set up shop outside the divorce attorney's office. You know, that's 3 sales, right?
Right. Right. Find a way to sell that you can feel good about. You know, like I said, dump the fear of being too pushy, too salesy, or anything. And like Brian Keene said, learn how to ask for business indirectly.
Yes.
But
yes,
still be out front.
Yes.
You know, when you see Sherry's party on the patio, hey, I'm doing something that's going to be fun, and her picture's on it. Just having a party on the patio. That's not, you know, I'm great, I'm amazing, I'm
Right.
amazing. But you see it and you go, okay, I'm going to go in. Who's helping us have a good time?
Yeah.
Sherry.
Yeah.
You know, so also people, this is something that, this one hit me a little bit, Jenny, sorry.
Okay.
People say, I just want to be happy. I just want to have fun in what I do. I might think that might be a ridiculous cop-out for not promoting and selling more. I just want to be happy. I just want to have fun. It makes it so that if I don't make a lot of money, it's okay. I just want to be happy and I want to have fun. Just one of her lines in the book. You know, she said that basically it's kind of a cop-out because we are really here to grow our businesses still in everything that we do.
I feel so attacked.
I do, too.
Just saying, that's what she said in the book. It stuck with me a little bit. So here's a new batch of questions, Sonia. You cannot not market yourself. okay? You cannot not market yourself. Do you feel passion about helping prospects and customers get the best experience possible? Do you really hope that anybody and everybody that works with you is going to get the best experience possible? If you do, that's one of the questions. That's a good thing. Number two, do you feel your services and working with you and your product, what's that? We lost somebody there. Do you feel that your services are better than your competitors? Do you feel that what you can do for a listing is better than what other people can do? I mean, that's a big question.
That's good stuff. Yeah.
And this is the one that Sonia thinks we should start with. Do you want to help others? So the Zings used to call 250, or used to call everybody in their database, and they used to say, "Hey, Jenny, this is Robin. We've made a commitment at the beginning of this year. We want to help 50 families get into homes this year. So if you know anybody, please let us know." So we want to, that's not promotion,
Right.
but it's me being out there. We want to help 50 families buy or sell a home this year.
Yeah.
That's a great way to approach it. It's indirect. So just a thought. Go ahead.
You know, I worked with Mike and Robin when they were doing that, and that was part of my lesson was, don't ask that person, are you going to buy or sell, but do you know of someone? We're here to help whoever you know also. So don't just limit it to your client. You call and say, hey, we've got this great property. Do you know anyone that would need a house with a mother-in-law quarter? Or we
Right.
have a great product in the loan. Do you know of anyone? It seems to work so much easier to do it that way.
It's also sneakier. I like it.
And
Yes.
it shows that you have a listing.
Right.
It shows that you are out there to help people. It reminds them of you. It says, by the way, and it's indirectly asking, do you need any real estate services?
Yeah.
You know, and that's why in the mastery we were sending out that text with a picture of a property saying this thing's going to go fast. We sent out Brian's over in the ranchos. You know, I think we sent out like, by the way, Brian, I think we sent out like, dude, like 300 of your ranchos property. Just so you know, in the mastery class, man, it went out all over the place. And we got calls and people that actually, you know, landed people, but they indirectly asked. So I like that, Sonia. And this is the big one. When you don't promote yourself, you're robbing people of the opportunity of doing business with someone who has their best interest in mind. And you have to believe that and know that about yourself. When you don't promote, you're robbing people of the opportunity of doing business with someone who has their customer's best interest in mind. So hopefully, while we're talking about this, you're putting some ideas together on things you can post, on ways you can reach out to people, on putting yourself out there. That's what I wanted today to be all about.
Yeah,
Jenny.
I like
You know,
it.
And do you believe that the prospects that you know should use you, or should they use someone else?
It's very simple.
Who would be better?
Yeah.
Are you the best?
Yeah.
You know, if not, get some more training. Maybe be the best. So make sure you're passionate about what you're doing and that you believe you can do better than others. And go ahead and feel uncomfortable, you know, promoting yourself. It's just a feeling. And you got to step outside that limitation zone and go for it. You know?
Hey, Chuck.
Yes, please.
Hey, I want to address
Mike,
something that Adam said about the when you were talking, or Sonia was talking about the indirect promotion, and Adam made the comment, "Well, yeah, I like it because it's sneakier." But and I know where Adam's coming from because I know Adam and I love him, and you know I get it. But I want to make sure that everybody understands: don't let that programming affect you, because the right way to think about that as an agent is it's not sneaky, it's strategic.
Correct.
Because sometimes we think those negative thoughts and then we have that visceral reaction where we shrink back and we don't want to do them because we think in our brains that's sneaky. Yep. It's not sneaky. Adam was kidding. It is strategic.
It was only in jest.
You were tongue in cheek, yes.
Yeah.
But there's so many of the things that you've been talking about this morning that are strategic. It's not sneaky. It's not underhanded. It's not inappropriate. It is the proper way to do things if you want to be successful in this business.
Love it.
One other thing you were talking about earlier, and you were on a roll, so I didn't want to interrupt, but
please,
for those agents who have had the frustrating and heartbreaking at times situation where a family member either doesn't use you or doesn't refer you, I will let you know in all the transactions that Kim and I have done, we have only done 2 transactions for family members, and we have never, ever been referred to a client by a family member. And we come, with our families combined, have a huge family. And at times that was heartbreaking, gut-wrenching. We kicked butt selling a property for a very, very close family member. It was out of the area. We killed it. We got 50,000 over originally what they expected. And then when they went to sell their primary residence, they didn't use us. So if that happens to you, don't feel bad. Just say, you know what, you're going to feel bad, but just grow from it and move on from it, because it doesn't always happen for everybody. But we've got this other family that we're just closing a property for their parents. They've referred us to, this will be the 11th referral they've given us, 11th deal we've done from referrals from them.
Got it.
So,
and you know what Jennifer Murphy and I
sometimes you just
used
don't
to always say, like if we didn't get a listing that we really, or a buyer didn't choose us, we'd be like, okay, there's a reason. We had to just go, it's the universe. There's a reason for this. And yes, make sure we did everything we're supposed to do, but we had to flip the switch and make it not like, oh, wait a minute.
Right, you just move on, like Mike's saying.
Yeah.
Right?
Mike, please tell me at least that these family members that didn't use you were uninvited to Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh, stop. Stop.
And they'll know why.
I will be honest.
They'll know
I will
why.
be honest within the family. I have one of them that I didn't speak to for a few months, but I have forgiven them.
Good.
And they are going to be coming out to visit soon.
Good.
And my wife mentioned that they're coming out to visit, and I initially kind of shrugged and was like, I don't care to see them at all, but I'm working on forgiveness and changing my attitude, because all it hurts is me. It
So
doesn't
you
hurt
guys
them at
don't
all.
talk
So-
politics at the table or real estate. It's that rough.
Exactly.
Or religion.
With that particular family member, both. Yes.
Right. All right, so I got a few more things. We're gonna wrap it up real quick. So number one, and this is important for you guys to remember, if you don't have a marketing budget, when a lot of newer agents don't, or even some of the silver clubs don't, they don't have a ton of money to invest in their business. Self-promotion is more important than your marketing budget constraints. Self-promotion is more important. And she was giving a story, this lady, that she just decided that she was going to self-promote the crap out of her after this book came out. So she went on everything she possibly could, everywhere she was invited, just promoted, and she got a call from the producer of the Howard Stern Show.
Yeah.
Imagine this book on the Howard Stern Show.
Yeah.
And she thought it was a joke and all that sort of stuff. Well, she ended up getting a call from the Howard Stern Show, because Howard's an avid reader, and he asked her if she wanted to come on the show. And so she ended up going on the show for a total of 5 minutes. She got him to laugh, she did her thing. But so that self-promotion brought her in front of 10 million. And overnight, within one day, it became a New York Times bestseller.
I had a similar success story.
Did you? What was it?
Well, like 8 years ago, while we were promoting our little movie we did, I would send emails out to every writer for newspapers and magazines and and we finally got an interview in the New York Post.
Love it.
For our little movie we did. So
well, and that's from promotion, right?
Yeah.
So nice job.
Put your nose to the grindstone and promote.
All right, so here's the 5-point summary.
Okay.
Number one, accept that if you don't do shameless promotion, you'll end up with nameless promotion.
Oh.
You'll end up with nothing.
Yeah.
So number two, promote yourself often and always in the service of others. Number three, speak up and get noticed. Get noticed.
I am the best.
Get noticed. Number four, understand that resenting self-promotion will become a huge obstacle to your success. Like, you have to do this. Number five, learn to live by the following 3 rules of success. Number one, have your own personal style and dare to be different. Whether it's the Super Zings, whether it's, whatever it may be.
Elvira.
That your angle, have your own personal style and dare to be different. Number two, never give up even when other people don't believe in you or your ideas, because you're only going to get so many no's.
Yeah, that's true.
And follow that passion. What?
It's worked for me over the last 7 years.
And last out, position yourself in front so you get noticed. Stand out.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. Put out social media. Put out videos. Don't be afraid to get out there. It is not about being boastful. It's about what you offer to other people and how lucky they are to be working with you, because you care about them and their genuine interests first. So that's it. That's the chapter, Jenny.
That's good.
So any other final comments before we roll on out of here? Did you guys like this stuff? Because I know I did. I like this.
really
Michelle.
did.
I like
And
this.
when you came in all talking about it, I'm like, oh, Lord, what's it going to be?
I know,
It
I
was
know.
good. It was
Can I
good.
shamelessly
Please.
self-promote? Guys,
A right-on
folks,
class, Chuck.
Well, thank you.
Oh,
Who said
yeah,
that?
Janie.
Janie, you're my new friend. I love Janie.
Yeah.
Janie's always
It
fun.
was really good.
Well, thanks, Janie. And
Yay.
Janie's really good about subtly putting herself out front.
Yes, she's, yeah.
You know, a lot of, thanks, Brenda. I appreciate that. Thanks, Tom, Mike. So anyways, go ahead.
Yes, folks, please give us a like. And if why don't you guys go onto Facebook and write in the comments how you shamelessly self-promote or how you plan to.
I honestly would appreciate that. Jenny and I would appreciate
Yeah.
that. If you could just go on to the
Yeah.
Chuck Whitehead Show or Coldwell Banker ABR's page and just comment or share this one, we would really appreciate it because we want to do self-promotion too. I mean,
Yeah,
we're in the
oh, that's
business of
true.
trying to grow what we've got going on
This
as well.
is true.
So if you don't
Yeah.
mind going on there and sharing today, I would appreciate
Yeah.
it. And any comments that you have, as long as they're positive.
Yeah.
We have a goal of getting 10,000 followers on the CBABR page because and we've
So we
got
can help
3,000.
10,000 people.
So folks, we want to help 7,000 people.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Very doable.
So,
Yeah, we
so
wanna help
give us
these
a comment.
people.
It helps the algorithm.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys, and happy Monday. Go out there, make it a big week. Promote yourself this week, among anything else. Join us on Wednesday for Sales Mastery at 10 o'clock. We're going to be doing all of
10
the,
o'clock?
sorry, at 9 o'clock, we're going to be doing
Okay.
all this review stuff. Don't forget, we're doing our business planning on December 2nd. We're going to knock it out of the park at Saboba Casino. And really excited about that. So make sure that you get out there, promote yourself, and make something big happen this week. So thank you, Jenny.
Thank you.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, everyone, for coming today.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Take care. Talk to you soon.